David Heath, I'm Member of Parliament for Somerton Frome. I think it'd be hugely beneficial. I mean, in all sorts of ways. It helps the community, and I think that's important. It gives young people a role in the community, helping not only themselves but other people as well. And it's a good way of using your time effectively and usefully, which I think is important in itself. Well, like I say, I meet a lot actually, going around the constituency. There's no town, no village where you haven't got some form of voluntary activity going on. And sometimes there's a lot. I represent Frome. Frome's a reasonable sized town. There's no end of the number of voluntary organisations in that town. But even small villages, you find that something is going on. People are giving up their time for, not being paid for, but nevertheless finding incredibly rewarding. First of all, I think young people tend to get involved in things if they see that they have other people of the same sort of age group involved. And I think the difficulty is always starting something off. Once it gets a bit of momentum of its own, then you get people wanting to be involved because they see that it's fun, they see that they're amongst friends, and they see that it's something that they want to be involved in. Well, they're part of the community, an important part of the community, and you can't just set yourself aside from what's going on around you and the community. I mean, some people would say that young people are a community in themselves, but they're also part of a wider population with its own needs, with its own activities, with its own aspirations, and I think it's very important that young people feel part of that and act as though they're part of that, rather than being seen somehow as other, as something that's alien. I mean, some older people think that. Older people look at young people and immediately see a threat, rather than somebody else who's part of the community, and that seems to me a very important thing to get over. Well, I think it's very important that you exchange information, that you make sure that people have the contacts which enable them to do the things that they want to do, and that's the key as far as I'm concerned about what SYVN does. Is it actually puts the right people in contact with the right people to make things happen.